So we finally saw the Golden State Warriors make a trade. They went out and they acquired Jimmy Butler last night from the Miami Heat in exchange for Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, Dennis Schroeder, and a top 10 protected first round pick in the 2025 draft. So this ended up being a massive 5-team trade where guys got rerouted left and right. But the main part of it, to today's rebuild, we are doing a Jimmy Butler Golden State Warriors rebuild. Jimmy did sign a 2-year extension with the Golden State Warriors at around like $60 million a year, which I may just have to give it to him in the offseason. Be a shout out to 2K for not updating this yet. They didn't have to trade away Gary Payton or Podziemski, Kuminga, Moses Moody, any of their young guys, Trey Jackson Davis as well. But to be honest with you, I don't really know if this puts the Warriors over the hump in the Western Conference. Jimmy Butler is a good player. Is he better than Andrew Wiggins? Yes, and we just haven't seen locked in Jimmy in a little bit. Maybe he's going to be locked in now. I'm really intrigued to see how he gets implemented into that offense. But the Warriors just lost to the Jazz the other night. They did lose to the Jazz on February 5th, so I will force a loss here. So they're 25-25. The Western Conference is very competitive. The Kings want to make the playoffs. The Mavericks want to make the playoffs. The Suns want to make the playoffs. The Spurs might even make the playoffs just because of De'Aaron Fox and his immediate impact right away. You have Minnesota trying to make the playoffs. Both LA teams. A lot of these teams don't own their first round picks in this upcoming draft. The Kings might not own it. Minnesota doesn't own it. Both LA teams don't own their first round pick in this upcoming draft. Phoenix doesn't own it either. Golden State may not own it anymore. So this could end in disaster, or the Warriors can go on a little bit of a run in the second half of the season. So now I'm just trying to figure out what the starting five is going to be, or just kind of what the rotation is going to be, as we're trying to at least just make the play-in tournament this year. I think we're going to start Buddy Hield at the 2, but he's only going to get, you know what, I'm actually going to start Podziemski just because I'm going to value his defense a little bit more than Buddy Hield's. We're going to have Curry, Butler, Draymond, Kevon Looney. I guess I'm going to play Kevon. You know what, I'm actually going to give Trey Jackson Davis more minutes than Kevon Looney. Jonathan Kuminga is going to be the 6th man. Now, what does this mean for Kuminga? Does he still have a chance to grow with Jimmy Butler there? I'm not really sure. I still think we can give him an extension in the offseason, and then we can figure out what we want to do with him as the asset going forward. So Gary Payton, you're going to get about 14 minutes a night. I think Buddy Hield around the same thing. And then Moses Moody, I'm going to give you 17 minutes a night. So yeah, this is what we're going to roll with. Guy Santos, I am not going to play in this rotation. We'll see if it can do anything in the second half of the year. If not, we do own our first round pick if it's top 10 protected. The worst case scenario is we lose in the play-in tournament, we don't make the playoffs, and we don't get our first round pick. I'm going to sign Markelle Fultz because we do have to fill out some roster spots. And Elfrid Payton as well. Oh wow, I actually have to clear up a lot of roster spots or fill out them. So Torrey Craig, is that good enough, or do we have to? No, I think that's good enough because obviously they traded a lot of players in this deal and only got one back. So SGA wins MVP. He just had another incredible performance the other night. I feel like he is going to win MVP at the end of this season. The Bucks made a trade as well. Like I tweeted out that my first rebuild after the 2024 trade deadline was a new look Knicks rebuild, which featured Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks. We are going to have to do so many rebuilds because I already did my Fox Spurs rebuild, but we could do a post Chris Middleton, Kyle Kuzma Bucks rebuild. We can now do another Lakers rebuild since they just picked up Mark Williams. We could do a post De'Aaron Fox / Zach LaVine Kings rebuild, post Jimmy Butler Heat rebuild, post Pelicans Ingram rebuild, Brandon Ingram Raptors rebuild. There is so much content to be made. So make sure you are subscribed. We did finish the season strong, thankfully. We ended up as the 5th seed in the Western Conference. We went 48-34. Damn, Houston kind of crumbled in the second half. Same with the Memphis Grizzlies. So the Kings don't make the playoffs. The Phoenix Suns end with a 37-45 record. So this was definitely a crazy outcome. Just like, oh man, I wonder if the Phoenix Suns are going to make another move before the trade deadline, just because they can't go out like this. They have to try to be somewhat competitive in the second half of the year. We end up going up against Minnesota in round number 1. You know what? A series we could win. Jimmy Butler versus one of his former teams in the Minnesota Timberwolves. Obviously, it didn't really end all that well there. He only spent basically a year there. Steph Curry went nuclear in the second half. 27 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 47-42-93 splits. Jonathan Kuminga, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 49-34-63 splits. Jimmy Butler, like he's fine. I just don't want to pay him $60 million, but I kind of have to. Buddy Hield, 39% from 3. There's Pods, who play better. And then obviously like Draymond Green. 2K doesn't love his impact as much as some of the other guys. So here we are in the playoffs. The rotation, I think I want Moses Moody to get a decent amount of minutes. Kevon Looney is probably going to get like 18 minutes a night. Gary Payton for his defense, I think I'm just going to give him 10 minutes a night. And then Buddy Hield also 10 minutes a night as well. So we're going to rock something like this. We can go 30 to Kuminga, Let's go 28 to Trayce Jackson-Davis, and then let's do 2 more to Steph Curry. Round number 1 against Minnesota, game 1. We do end up winning this one 119-100. Steph with 43, Jimmy with 19, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists for Trayce Jackson-Davis, and we take game 1. Could we win a playoff series? We do lose game 2, though, by 11. Julius Randle drops 36. Like, is Julius Randle going to get traded at the deadline? I am not sure. Game number 3 goes to Golden State. We blow them out. Jonathan Kuminga and Steph Curry combined for 68 points. Jimmy, I would like for you to step up a little bit. Game number 4 goes to Golden State. We are 1 game away. Steph drops 48. Are you kidding me? All right, we are 1 game away from winning a playoff series. They do end up winning game 5 in overtime by 10, unfortunately. Game number 6 is going to go to Minnesota. All right, are we really about to blow a 3-1 lead? Don't do that to me, 2K. Come on. I don't want to be on the wrong end of a blown 3-1 lead. We're up in the 3rd quarter. Just don't choke it in the 4th, please. It's looking good for us, and we are going to advance. So we don't blow the 3-1 lead, and the Warriors win a playoff series for the first time since the 2023 playoffs where they beat the Kings in round number 1. But now we do have to take on the best team in the Western Conference, the OKC Thunder. So in round number 1 against Minnesota, Steph averaged 32 points. Yeah, we're pretty much living and dying by Steph. Buddy Hield did not shoot the ball well. Honestly, Buddy, like, I already, like, questioned playing you. I'm not going to play you, I think, in round number 2. Let's go 39 to Steph. Let's go 36 to Jimmy. Let's go 33 to Draymond. And the way Pods has been playing, I might go, like, 25 to Pods, and then we can go a little bit more to Moses Moody, because he has been a good shooter for us. Game number 1 against OKC, we win 128-93. Steph with 41, Jimmy with 22, 10, 5, and 3. It's just like Steph being 37, Jimmy being 35, and Draymond Green being 35 as well. Is this our best chance this year in 2025 after we go up 2-0 against the best team in the Western Conference and arguably the best team in the NBA? Game 3 goes to Golden State. 127-111, 35, 10, and 6 for Steph, 26 for Kuminga, 25 for Jimmy Butler. All right, don't blow a 3-0 lead, and we're going to be advancing to the conference finals. We do lose game 4 by 2 in overtime. Game 5, we do lose by 14. All right, we almost blew a 3-1 lead in round 1. Don't blow a 3-0 lead. Thank you. We win in 6, 136-114, 31-7, and 4. For Jonathan Kuminga, a little bit of a breakout game there. He's a restricted free agent at the end of the year, so I always thought, like, extend him to for a lot of money, and then you trade him. But who knows? The way he's playing, I feel like he's going to be part of our future. You have New York and Boston over there in the ECF, and you have Dallas and Golden State, 2 teams that made massive trades at the deadline. Obviously, Dallas trading away Luka Doncic. Still can't believe that happened. And then the Warriors trading for Jimmy Butler. Here we go. A rematch of the 2022 Western Conference Finals, but these 2 teams do look a little bit different. You get Steph versus Kyrie in a playoff series, which is really cool. 51 for Steph. Oh my God. He's averaging 35, 5.5, and 6 with 1 steal here, and is shooting 52% from the field, 53% from 3, and 86% from the free throw line. Game 2 goes to the Warriors. 24 for Steph, 22 for Kuminga, 21 for Pods. Jimmy, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. All right, so we were up 3-1 against Minnesota. I believe we were tied, we were up 3-1, and then we were up 3-0 against OKC. Can we go up 3-0 against Dallas? Nope, they win game 3 by 26. We only scored 12 points. Oh, damn, we were tied going into that 4th quarter, and they outscored us by 26 in the 4th. We do win game 4, though, and we are 1 game away from going to the NBA Finals with Steph, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. And we do! Oh my God. I really thought this could have been a disaster, to be honest with you. I thought we weren't even going to make the playoffs, and I was going to lose out on my top 10 protected first-round pick. Here we are in the NBA Finals. Steph is averaging 33 points, or he did in the conference finals. He's averaging 34 points in these playoffs, and we're taking on either Boston or New York. It's going to be Boston. So a rematch of those 2022 NBA Finals. Tatum and Jaylen Brown are looking for revenge. Steph and Tatum, conference finals MVPs. We do lose game 1 by 15. I think that's our first game 1 loss yet. So I don't know how we're going to respond. Game 2. Oh, come on, Jimmy. I need you to go off against the Boston Celtics. Maybe we should have acquired Caleb Martin instead of Dallas if I knew we were going to be going up against the Boston Celtics, and we're down 3-0. Damn, 152, 134. The fact that we're here in the NBA Finals was kind of insane, but we do end up getting swept. That's unfortunate. Jaylen Brown drops 40 points in those 4 games. Steph had 53, 8, and 10 in game 4. We still lost by 10. Yeah. So I really couldn't get Steph all that much help. Jimmy was not worth all they gave up, and somebody that I got to extend for about $60 million more per year this offseason if he does opt in. I feel like he will opt in, and I'm going to have to just add on those 2 years because I'm pretty sure when he signed that extension with Golden State, he opted out and then re-upped for 2 years. So we will give Miami the 23rd pick in the 2025 draft. Honestly, I'm not going to lose sleep over that. All right, so should we get creative here in the offseason? I feel like we should, because it's not a guarantee that we're going to go back to the finals next year. So the Thunder could look to add some more shooting. Would they take Buddy Hield from me and give me the 20th pick in the draft? They say yes to that. Shout out also to the Bulls. I got to do a post-Zach LaVine rebuild for them. They ended up, I guess, tanking in the second half where they lost a ton of games, and they ended up with the 4th pick. So that is a good result for them. And I'm taking an NBA-ready player that can contribute right away, Janai Broome from Auburn. And in the second round, I took Hunter Salas from Wake Forest. So hopefully they can contribute right away. Jimmy opts in. Brandon Podziemski, we're going to pick up that team option. Same with Guy Santos. Hopefully I do get like a non-taxpayer mid-level exception. I'm not sure if we will. I would also like to bring back Pat Spencer, who had a sick dunk the other night, and Quinton Post, who's actually been a good second rounder for the Warriors so far. Obviously, Kuminga, we're going to bring back Gary Payton for the minimum. I would like to do that. Kevon Looney for the minimum, also would like to do that. And that is going to be the case. We are going to renounce the rights on Elfrid Payton, Markelle Fultz, and Torrey Craig. So let's do all that. And then I would also like to see if I can land a center. I also did offer Vince Williams a deal. I don't know if he signed with us. Can I get Marvin Bagley? Wouldn't be too bad. So Kuminga gets a deal from the Nets, 3 years, $61 million. Let's match that. This would take us over the salary cap. What? How do I'm confused. What? This is stupid. Wait. No. This is stupid. This doesn't make any sense. I'm going to have to trade override him back on my team because 1, we're barely over the cap. 2, I didn't renounce the rights on him. Like, what about if I do? Yeah, I don't know why 2K is doing this glitch because I would be 1, able to go over the hard cap to match the steal and restricted free agency. I've never really seen this before. I don't know if it's like a weird glitch that's going on, but I'm going to trade override for Kuminga back. That definitely shouldn't happen. So I'm going to make sure we're not going to get screwed over there. So Kuminga, I guess, is going to be a Brooklyn net. And then, yeah, like I said, I'm going to get him back. And of course, I can't get Vince Williams. I'm barely over the cap. $25 million over the cap. I've seen it way worse at times. And we do get Pat Spencer and Quinton Post and Jackson Rowe and Danish Jenkins Toast. Okay, didn't offer all those guys qualifying offers. This is why 2K is so weird sometimes. I definitely didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to release some guys. But Larry Nance Jr., Gary Payton, they both regress. I don't even know if they were going to crack the rotation. Draymond, though, regresses a ton. Maybe I don't even start him. Maybe I do Jimmy at the 2, Moses Moody at the 3, Kuminga at the 4, something like that. Jimmy and Steph regressing as well. I'm afraid last year was our best chance of winning a title with this group. All right, so I'm going to give Jimmy that 1-year deal on top of the player option, which is basically $60 million. I'm not going to re-sign any of these guys just yet. And I think the Warriors were possibly willing to trade Draymond Green at this year's deadline. So that could be somebody that I look to trade. We'll see, though. Pat Spencer, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm going to release Larry Nance Jr. instead of Pat Spencer. So looking at the team right now, Curry, I think I'm going to go Butler at the 2. I think I'm going to go Moody at the 3, Kuminga at the 4, Trey Jackson Davis at the 5. Draymond is going to come off the bench, play about 20 minutes a night. Let's go 22 to Pods. Let's go about 30 to Trey Jackson Davis. Let's go 34 to Kuminga. Let's go 30 to Moody. And then I think, actually, let's go like 28 to Trey Jackson Davis. I would like to go at least 34 to Butler. And then we're going to have Draymond, Pods. I guess Kevon Looney's going to be the backup 5 again. And I'd like to play Janai Broome a decent amount of minutes also. So let's give him like 18 minutes a night. Kevon Looney, you can get around 13. And let's see what Hunter Salas, the rookies, can do. Because I need one of them to at least be productive this year. We're 4-star perimeter-centric under Steve Kerr. We start off with a nice win against the Clippers. Curry drops 39. Nice to see that he hasn't lost a step. Jimmy drops 26. A good start to, I guess, Jimmy's first full year here in Golden State. So we are here basically at the 2026 trade deadline. I don't think anything is going to ever top the 2025 trade deadline again. So we are currently 32-18, which is pretty good. I will take that. We are the 4th seed in the Western Conference. We have an 8.5 point differential. Offensively, we could be a little bit better. We're like middle of the pack in the West, but our defense, top 4, which we will definitely take, and that is encouraging to see. Player stats, Curry's averaging 30 a night. Okay. Yeah, we would not be here if Steph wasn't putting up prime Steph numbers. He really did average 32 points per game in 2021. That is crazy. How many games did Steph play in 21? Because he got hurt in 2020. Played played 63 games in 2021, and he averaged 32 points. That is crazy. Jonathan Kuminga is averaging 19 points, but the three-point shot not looking as good. Jimmy's averaging 19 points, about 5.5 rebounds, 6 assists, 46% from the field, and 35% from three. Moses Moody becoming a really good three-point shooter for us. 40% from three, 13.7 points, 3.7 rebounds. Trayce Jackson-Davis, 9-9 with 1.4 blocks as well. There's Pods, 51-40 splits, 10 points and 4 rebounds. Yeah, Draymond is turning into somewhat of like a negative asset right now. All right, I want to see if I can move Trayce Jackson-Davis, Marvin Bagley, and 2 first-round picks for Jalen Duren. They agree to that. Okay, they did not want to pay Jalen Duren at the end of the year, right? They didn't pay him. So Jalen Duren, who's been a little bit disappointing, I would say defensively, we pick him up, and I think that is going to be a nice upgrade over Trayce Jackson-Davis, at least offensively for us, and you know how good he is in 2K. And I think that's going to be the only trade that I'm going to make at the deadline, and then we're obviously just going to insert Jalen Duren into the starting 5. Hunter Sallis has been shooting the ball well, though, on limited shot attempts. Shani Broom has been fine as a rookie for us, so we're going to hope that this team can go far and maybe get a top 3 seed in the Western Conference. We're the 4 seed right now, but we are 2.5 games back of Dallas. So in year number 2, Wemby wins MVP. Okay, Yegor Demon is your rookie of the year. He went number 1 overall. Yeah, over Cooper Flagg, over Dylan Harper. Makes a ton of sense, right? Josh Giddey went to Milwaukee, 6th man of the year. Wemby gets DPOY, so he wins MVP and DPOY. First time somebody has done that in a few years, when Giannis did that, I believe back in 2020. And then Luka wins Clutch Player of the Year. Still just crazy. Like, this feels 2K. I mean, it just doesn't feel real that he's in a Lakers jersey, and it's actually real, and it's not just like a 2K simulation, as we don't get Steph on any of the first 2 teams, but he does make All-NBA 3rd team, which is kind of disrespectful. He should have won MVP, honestly. 30 points as a 38-year-old on this type of efficiency. Yeah, I would have given him the MVP award. We also got Janai Broom on all-rookie 2nd team. We finished the year as the 5 seed, which I believe is where we finished last year, right? And we're taking on Minnesota in round 1. The same thing we did last year. We finished with a 7.6 point differential. Seemed like there was like a drop-off in tiers after us in the Western Conference, but hey, at least we were pretty competitive this year again, with Steph dropping 30 points, Kuminga averaging 19, 6 and 3, Jimmy averaging 18, 5 and 5. There's Moses Moody, 13.5 points, shooting 39% from 3. Really good numbers there. Jalen Duren, 13 and 12. Pods put up 10 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 3 assists this year. Janai Broom, I think, is going to play for us in the playoffs. Draymond, I think, is just going to play a little bit for us in the playoffs. I think we're going to trim the rotation down. Kevon Looney, you know, I don't have to play him in the playoffs. I think we could play Hunter Sallis. Yeah, in a way. I think we can go 15 to Broom and Draymond Green. 30 to Moses Moody is fine with me. And then we can go probably 40 minutes to Steph. Let's go 28 to Pods. And let's go 34 to Jimmy Butler. All right, here we go. Rematch of last year's round 1. I believe we won game 1 last year. This time Minnesota wins it. Steph goes 2 of 10 from 3. And we do lose game 2 as well. Steph drops 33, 3, 9, and 4. But it's not enough as we lose by 15. We do win game 3, thank God, because if we went down 3-0, I was just like, there's probably going to be a first round exit for us in the 2026 playoffs. But we go down 3-1. So after making it to the finals last year, we are 1 game away from elimination. We do force a game 6. We do win 129-114. Even after scoring 17 points in the 4th quarter, we still won by double digits. Steph had 44. Can we force a game 7? No, we cannot. Damn. We ended up losing 124-106. So that stinks that we ended up losing in round number 1. I think I'm going to have to speed this rebuild up a little bit just because Steph is going to be 39 next year. Jimmy is going to be 37 next year. Draymond is going to be probably a negative asset for us, or at least a negative player. So I think we're going to make some pretty big moves this offseason and go all in the 2027 season. The Thunder and the Pacers are in the NBA Finals. And let's see who wins it all. It is going to be the OKC Thunder in 7. Shea puts up 37, 7, and 10 and wins Finals MVP. Yeah, it's also tough that we're in the Western Conference, so it's a lot more competitive. We see a Warrior retire, not any of the top guys. It is Gary Payton, so we see Greg Popovich retire as well. And we are not going to own our first round pick this year. It is going to go to the Detroit Pistons, which is going to end up being at 25 from the Jalen Duren trade. So I am going to keep, like Steve Kerr around. No need to fire him. I think we could win it all with him. He still has really good ratings in 2K. So looking at what I want to do with this team, it's crazy having 110 million, 119 million, basically 120 million, yeah, tied up between Steph and Jimmy Butler. That's kind of crazy. It's just more so the Jimmy contract. So I drafted Paul Evans there at 49. AJ Demancic goes to the Thunder. Great. So they just won it all, and they're going to get even better. I think we can use Draymond as a trade, like, asset at $27 million. So I'm going to pick up that team option. Pods and Salas are picking that up as well. You have Luka hitting free agency. I'm going to give the qualifying offers to Duren, Spencer, Guy Santos, and Quinton Post. And I'm going to make this trade with the Sacramento Kings. Draymond gets the team up with his good friend Domantas Sabonis over in Sacramento. So it's going to be Draymond, Salas, Paul Evans, and a future second-round pick for Baron Philon, the former Alabama Crimson Tide, who didn't really play in his rookie year, former 35th overall pick. And I'm getting Santi Aldama in this deal as well. So let's see if I'm able to sign any of these guys. Like, Scottie Pippen Jr. was a free agent. Jacoby Walters, third-year team option, did not get picked up, which is interesting. So I'm going to try to take a chance on him. I can't afford Scottie Pippen Jr., but I could afford Jacoby Walter, which could be a nice trade asset for us. And we're going to give Jalen Duren 5 years, $193 million. Probably another reason why Detroit wanted to trade him, just because of that massive extension he was about to get. All right, so we're pretty much going to wrap up free agency. I think it's going to be a big first half of the year for Jonathan Kuminga, because if he doesn't take a leap in the first half, I think he's going to be a big trade candidate at the 2027 trade deadline. All right, so let's look at this rotation for year number 3. Steph, Pods, Jimmy, Kuminga, Jalen Duren. That's fine with me. Aldama, Moody. We'll give Walter a chance off the bench. Yeah, maybe I give Guy Santos. Actually, no. I want to play Janai Broome over Guy. So Broome's going to get around 15 minutes a night. We'll give Jacoby Walter a chance at 15 minutes a night. Santi Aldama is going to get 20 minutes a night. We'll go 26 to Moody. And then I would like to go 33 to Duren. I'd like to go 34 to Kuminga. I'd like to go probably 33 to Butler, 28 to Pods, 36 to Steph. Yeah, this might be Steph's last elite year in the league. So who knows? Maybe there's a big trade to be made at the deadline, because I don't know where this team is going to be. So we are 33-17 at the deadline. So we are the 2 seed in the Western Conference. We have the best point differential. All right, that is very intriguing to making me think that we can actually win it all this year. Jonathan Kuminga, I said I was going to potentially trade you, and you were having the best year of your career. 20 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 50-36 splits. The 65% free throw percentage is pretty brutal. Jalen Duren's averaging 14 and 13 with 1.2 blocks. Jimmy definitely starting to regress a little bit. Pods 13, 6, and 5. Not bad numbers in the final year of his rookie deal. Moses Moody showing that he's a good three-point shooter. One move we are going to make at the deadline, Jacoby Walter, Baron Philon, who we got in the Draymond Green trade, and a future second-round pick for Deron Holmes, who might play, who might not play, we'll see. But I'm getting Julian Strawther in this deal, the last year of his rookie contract with the Denver Nuggets. So I think I'm going to play Strawther probably about a decent amount of minutes a night, probably 20 minutes a night. We're going to bump down Aldama's. Janai Broome's been fine as like a backup center. We are 4.5-star perimeter centric. Let's see if this team can go all the way. So Wemby wins MVP in back-to-back years. AJ Demancic drafted by the Thunder, Rookie of the Year. Josh Giddey, 6-man. Wemby takes home Depoy. Jeremiah Fears, Most Improved. Luka Doncic is your Clutch Player of the Year. Steve Kerr, Coach of the Year. Okay, so we get Coach of the Year. We got Executive of the Year. I'm sure Mike Dunleavy would be very happy with that, given how stressful his job is right now and how much pressure he has to build a contender around Steph Curry before he retires. And Steph still giving me elite production, man. He's aging just as good as LeBron or KD. 28, 4, and 7 for Curry. 49, 44, 93 splits. A 67% true shooting percentage at 39 years old. Wow. And we finished as the 1 seed in the Western Conference. We're taking on the San Antonio Spurs in round number 1. Not an easy opponent by any means, because they have obviously De'Aaron Fox, who I guess left them in free agency. All right, well, I guess that makes our lives a little bit easier. They do have Chris Middleton and John Collins, as De'Aaron Fox ended up signing with the Houston Rockets in free agency. I'm sure Rockets fans would be happy about that one, as Kuminga averaged 20 points per game this year, shot 49 from the field, 36 from 3. Jalen Duren 14 and 13. Jimmy's definitely regressing, but I'm hoping I can get one more good playoff run out of him. All right, will Wemby pull off the upset on us, or are we going to be able to advance? We do win by 28 in game number 1. Kuminga with 26, Steph with 23. Butler had 13 assists, 15 rebounds for Jalen Duren, and 10 for Aldama, even 9 for Janai Broome. All right, on to game number 2. Can we start off hot? Yes, we can. We end up winning the first 2 at the Chase Center. 5 of 11 for 3 for Steph, 12 of 20 from the field. Jimmy had 25. There we go. I just need one last Jimmy Butler playoff run, and we should be in a good spot. We do win game 3 because Curry's dropping 47 points as a 39-year-old, and we are going to sweep the San Antonio Spurs. Steph with 30, Jimmy with 19, 13 rebounds for Duren, and we're advancing to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder in round 2. That's a very tough round 2 matchup because they have Shea, Cason Wallace, AJ Dubbanson, J-Dub, and Chet in that starting 5. Their bench is really good. Not sure why they wanted DeAndre Ayton, but that is going to be a very tough matchup. Even though we do win game 1 by 7, I'm not going to feel confident until we actually beat them. But we're up 2-0. Curry with 34. He's averaging 34 in his first 6 playoff games. We do lose our first playoff game in game 3 by 2. All right, on to game number 4. Goes to Golden State. We take a 3-1 lead. Curry is outperforming Shea. 45 for Curry. He's out-meeting Shea right now. And we do lose game 5. Okay, by 3. Don't let them force a game 7, please. Oh my God, they forced a game 7. All right, well, I guess I got a little cocky. Here we go. Game 7. It's going to be in the Bay Area. Are we going to go out? Oh, this would be kind of sad. 1 seed blowing a 3-1 lead in round number 2. Oh, I'm nervous, man. I am. Please don't blow this. Please don't blow this. Oh my God, we blew it. Are you kidding me? We get outscored 40-31 in the 4th quarter, and we blow a 3-1 lead. Oh my God, that sucks. And we would have been, we would have taken on the Pelicans and the Hornets. Oh my God. The Pelicans actually beat the Thunder, and the Hornets, now they ended up with Cooper Flagg. Still have Mark Williams in this. Damn, the Pelicans won it all. I thought that was our best chance, and we ended up losing in round number 2. James Harden retires on the Hornets. KD retires on the Suns. So Steph or Jimmy, neither of them retire. Jimmy is a free agent, but he shouldn't cost a lot to resign because he is not a $60 million player anymore. We do have to give Detroit our 1st round pick, and that is going to come in. I believe we're giving it to Detroit, right? Oh, no, I actually get my 1st round pick. They're at 29. Very nice. So we're going to keep Steve Kerr, I think. I was a little disappointed after that, Kerr. Let's see what we want to do. We have Moody, Kuminga, Aldama, and Duren all under contract. I don't know if I would try to upgrade anywhere. All right, so we do have a little bit of cap space right now. Could I pick up Benedict Mathurin from the Indiana Pacers for Aldama, 29, and my 2nd rounder? They want Jonathan Kuminga in this deal. I don't know if I would throw in Kuminga. I will throw in my 2030 first. They say no. I'm sure I could throw in Moody to get this deal done. Oh, that's tough. Like, if I did Moody and if I did Aldama for Mathurin, I mean, Mathurin is better than Moody, and I don't think I'm losing sleep over Aldama. So they say no to that. What about if I throw in 29? And what about if I throw in 2031? Okay, never mind, actually. We're not getting Mathurin. So we get Andor Morai here from Hungary at 23. All right, he's 23 years old, and we got him there at 29. Deron Holmes and Janai Broom, I will be picking up their team options. Qualifying offers, we're going to pay Strother and Pods this offseason, and Jimmy is a free agent. So is Steph. Steph did get a real kind of ish deal from the Wizards. So let's give Steph, I don't know, $60 million on a 1-year deal. Jimmy only wants $15 million, so let's give him a 1-year deal. And we do get Steph back on 1 year, $60 million. Jimmy Butler back, and Kevon Looney back on the minimum. So we get Pods back on a 4-year deal. Same with Julian Strother. And I'm going to sign Zach Collins and Dante DiVincenzo at the end of free agency. I may trade for a different backup center. But yeah, we're seeing the Steph regression, which is a shame. All right, so looking at the rotation this year, I guess we're going to start Jimmy, but he's not going to play a ton. It's going to be Kuminga and Duren in the front court, Pods and Steph in the backcourt. The bench unit is going to be Strother, Holmes, Aldama, Moody. So I guess that means no minutes for Janai Broom, which is kind of unfortunate, honestly. I'm going to go 14 to Aldama. Let's go, honestly, 23 to Moody. I'm going to go about 10 to Deron Holmes. Yeah, he's going to be the backup center. Let's go 25 to Julian Strother. Let's go 33 to Jalen Duren. 35 to Kuminga. What is Steph getting? 35. Let's go 33 to Pods. And honestly, we'll go 32 to Jimmy Butler. I do expect to make a trade at the deadline. All right, so we are 40-10 at the trade deadline. Steph is still putting up Steph numbers as a 39-year-old. He's got to be turning 40 soon. Like, Jimmy is a shell of what he used to be. But Pods has really developed into a nice combo guard next to Steph. Kuminga, I don't think I got to trade Kuminga. Like, he's been pretty good for us. It's funny, like, the one weakness spot in the starting 5, I would say, is Jimmy Butler. And this is his rebuild. And I am making this trade with the Indiana Pacers, Santi Aldama, Dante DiVincenzo, and Deron Holmes for Mo Wagner. but I'm getting Andrew Nembhard in this deal as well. That is a massive pickup for us. Because, yeah, I feel like Nembhard in this version of Pajemski can kind of do similar things, but just getting the talent of Nembhard is crucial for us. So I think we're going to just lower these minutes a little bit. Pods is going to go down, and then I guess I'm going to go back to Janai Broom as the backup center, but if it doesn't work out, I'll go to Mo Wagner, who we just traded for. So Wemby wins his 3rd straight MVP award. Darius Acuff Jr., Rookie of the Year. Brandon Miller, 6th Man of the Year, not in Charlotte, but in Los Angeles. Wemby ends up winning Depoy. Caleb Wilson, Most Improved, and Cade Cunningham is your Clutch Player of the Year. We get Coach of the Year again. Steve Kerr wins this award back-to-back years. Like, I can't fire him. We end up going 65-17. So we still have Steph. I mean, he didn't make an All-NBA team, but Steph is still playing at a very good level. And just the pieces we have around Steph that can complement him are really solid. Yeah, 23.5 points, the lowest of Steph's career in a full season, basically since 2015, 2013. It's been a minute. Jalen Duren, bruiser on the boards. Yeah, I just like having Pods, Nembhard, Strother, Jonathan Kuminga averaged 22 points per game this year. I feel like we do have the surrounding pieces around Steph to get a ring. I think I'm going to go Mo Wagner, though, over Janai Broom for the backup center minutes. We are going to go, I think, 18, maybe 17 to Moses Moody. We're going to go 20 to Nembhard, 23 to Strother. Let's go 34 to Duren, 36 to Kuminga, 32 to Pods. I think I'm going to go a little bit less to Jimmy. Let's go 27 to Jimmy. We're going to go 37 to Steph, and I'm actually going to give a little bit more to Strother and Nembhard. Here we go. We're taking on the Suns in round 1. KD retired. They did have Case and Wallace, so they do have a Kentucky backcourt. They have Ryan Dunn, Michael Porter Jr., and Nick Richards. Jonathan Mogbo, Jed Howard off the bench. I think we should be fine in round number 1 against them, and we do end up winning in 5, so we advance to round 2 for the second time in 2 years, yeah, because 3 years ago, we lost to Minnesota in round 1. Jonathan Kuminga kind of breaking out. That is so huge for us, but we got to take on Wemby and the Spurs in round 2. I'm just so scared of Wemby. Game 1 ends up going to Golden State. We win this one by 29 points. All right, game number 2 goes to Golden State. We win by 7. We are 2 games away from the conference finals, 1 game away from the conference finals. There we go. Kuminga with 23 in that one. We do lose game 4. We do win game 5, though, and we gentlemen sweep the San Antonio Spurs, and we're in the conference finals taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, the team that we have faced twice already in the playoffs. Kuminga is breaking out 27 points per game in the playoffs. Contract year for him as well. Minnesota beat us 2 years ago. We beat them 3 years ago. Let's see who advanced to the NBA Finals. They win game 1 by 3. Damn. Game 2 goes to Golden State. How much did we win this one by? All right, we blew them out, which is very nice to see. We do lose game 3. We do win game 4. All right, we're going back and forth right now. Game 3, we lost by 14. Game 4, we ended up winning by 3. Game 5 goes to Minnesota. Oh my God. Really? 8 points in the 4th quarter. Jeez, man. All right, here we go. Game number 6. We have to... Oh, God, we're getting blown out already. We got to win this one to force a game 7, but we're down by 30. All right, so another year, no finals appearance since year number 1. That is pretty frustrating. Cade and Ant are your conference finals MVPs. It just sucks that we were the 1 seed each of the last 2 years, and we couldn't make it to the NBA Finals. Steph does retire, so we got 1 year left of this. Jimmy retires as well. I'm going to override both their retirements and hope that we can get a ring. Next year's the final year. I got to do all I can to get a ring. All right, so we can take on a little bit of money right now. I'm going to get RJ Barrett from the Toronto Raptors to be our starting small forward next year. We are also getting Emmanuel Quickly in this deal, but I think I'm going to reroute him. We're giving up a former first-round pick, the guy from Hungary, Andrew Nembhard, and 2 future first-round picks. This is the final year, so I'm going all in right now. And we're going to trade Emmanuel Quickly to Sacramento for Goga Badatse to be our backup center. So we're going to pick up the team option on Janai Broom. Also could be another trade candidate for us. We do want to bring back Steph, Kuminga, all these guys. Moses Moody's about to get a deal from us. I'm also signing Kevon Mooney, bringing him back. I'm getting Aaron Wiggins, Ayo Dosunmu on the minimum, and Isaiah Jackson on a 3-year deal. Gary Trent Jr. on the minimum as well. All right, so let's see how far this team can go next year. It's still like really deep around Steph. It's just I don't know if Steph can be a number 1 anymore. All right, I'm not really sure how I can afford this, but Janai Broom, Goga Badatse, and a first for Christian Brown. We're going to do that trade. And before the season starts, I do have to cut somebody, which I guess it's going to be Kevon Mooney, a Warriors legend. And yeah, that is going to be the team. going into the final season of this rebuild. I will make moves at the deadline if I feel like this team will not be able to get over the hump. All right, so I am trading Christian Brown, RJ Barrett, and my 2033 first for Mitchell Robinson, but Tyrese Maxey. I feel like we need somebody else that can score the basketball at an elite level. And I know we could have a small backcourt. I worry about it defensively. Both guys are 6'2". One's 40. Other one's not a great defender. We're going to make Maxey a shooting guard, or do I want to make Steph? We'll make Maxey the shooting guard. Yeah, I just need somebody else that can score the basketball, and I think Maxey could be that guy for us. And we're not done yet. I do have to trade away Moses Moody, which kind of stinks because he's been here for 8 years. I'm going to reroute Mitchell Robinson to Boston for Craig Porter Jr., but for our new starting power forward, Jake LaRavia, who's just such a good three-point shooter in this game. It's something we need in the starting five. So it's going to be Curry, Maxey, Kuminga, LaRavia, and Duren with Pod, Strother, Dosunmu. Like, we have too many shooting guards coming off the bench, but obviously, like, we're going to play Isaiah Jackson a little bit more. Jimmy Butler is going to get into the rotation. Yeah, because I think it's going to be Pod, Strother, Jimmy, and Jackson off the bench. Steph can get 31 minutes. We're going to go 36 to Maxey, 33 to Kuminga. So Wemby just wins his 4th straight MVP award. Yeah, I don't think he's never not winning that or DPOY for a long time. Steve Kerr, 3rd straight Coach of the Year award. We go 63-19. But can we please just go to the NBA Finals? That's all I want. I don't care about the 1 seed. I don't care about Coach of the Year. Like, we had a 12.2 point differential. I just don't know if it's going to matter at the end of the day if we can't win a playoff series. This is the final year because Steph's retiring at the end of the year. And same with Jimmy Butler. And we're taking on Minnesota, a team that has beaten us in the past in round number 1. I'd like to think we're not going to lose in round 1, and we do beat them in 6. But we got to take on the OKC Thunder in round number 2. We have 3 guys scoring 20 plus, and Curry, Maxey, and Kuminga. Can we beat the Thunder, who nope, they have J-Dub as their 6th man. This team is so good. Peterson to Bansic, Kobe Peter, are you kidding me? I feel like they're going to beat us. Oh my God, we win in 7. All right. 142-114 Maxey. That's why I traded for him. Shows up in game 7 and gives me 40 points. All right, here we go. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals against Anthony Davis, Kasperi Shakushonis, Drake Powell, and the Dallas Mavericks. We win game 1, a rematch of the 2022 Western Conference Finals and the 2025 in this save. We're up 2-1, 2-2. Please don't lose 3 in a row. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man? All right, we just choked how many Western Conference Finals in this video? Oh my God. We had so many collapses. Like, we made it to the finals in year 1. Oh my God, we probably would have beat Charlotte, of course. LaMelo got finals MVP, and they lost. All right, this rebuild pissed me off. Maybe the Jimmy Butler Warriors are also going to piss me off. How did I not get a ring with, like, let alone, I don't know, like Steph's getting up there in age, Draymond, Jimmy. But it's just we had so many 1 seeds, so many Coach of the Years, so many Conference Finals appearances, and we could not get a ring. I'm dealing with a 104 fever right now, maybe got the flu, and this is not making me feel any bit better. Either way, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, I'd appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. I am sorry, Warriors fans, that weren't able to get a ring. Maybe I'm going to take a look at this one, and I think do like a 10-year Warriors rebuild, like post-Curry, post-Butler, and Draymond in the future, or maybe it'll be a 20-year one, because I think it'll be interesting to look at how this team is going to just age and develop over time with and without their big 3 who are all getting up there in age. So if you did enjoy it, I appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments which rebuild you'd like to see next. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.